Now, if you're an airline and you order the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, you can pick 3 different sizes, small, medium, or large. The small one is the 787-8, with the medium one being a little bit bigger, the 787-9, and with the big one being, of course, the big Boeing 787-10. And the problem is about the 787-10 is that it's almost too long. After all these 3 airplanes, even though they have quite the sizable difference, literally, share pretty much the exact same specs. The 787-10 is 12 meters longer than the 8, but yet they have the same wing, yet they have the same engines, and what is especially important is that they have the same control surfaces. For example, vertical stabilizer that stabilizes the airplane on the yaw axis, so like this, is the same, which is a big problem on the 787-10, and that's actually, you can see that by this airplane's crosswind performance. I made a video about this last year, and I spelled crosswind with 1 S. Interesting in the thumbnail. The big 787-10 sucks at crosswind landings, and you can literally see that here on ChatGPT. They gave me these numbers. The small ones in the medium size does very well in crosswind. The 787-10 does not well at all, because this now is a very tiny vertical stabilizer. Another thing is, of course, this airplane has massive tail strike problems as well. Well, pretty much all versions of them anyway, so most of them are actually quite tail strike prone compared to other airplanes. This is another one. But yes, that is quite a long distance to the end of the aircraft here from the main landing gear. You can't really pitch up high until you hit that tail on the ground. This is one of the reasons why Boeing would never make an even bigger 787-11, unless there's someone like me who does it anyway. You know, I always take big pride in my work. Okay, maybe I should have not messed up the United Airlines logo. United. Now, this airplane now is 40 feet longer, 12 meters longer. So we literally have the size of the 777, and it doesn't even look that stupid, right? And everything works just as it should, right? So this is the cockpit. It's just 20 feet forward. We can open it and look into the cabin. But we've got plentiful space, way more space. Look at the men's business class. This is a real money maker, ladies and gentlemen. And this is maybe also the reason why they don't opt to actually make the 787-10 any longer. It would be a 777X killer, you know? I mean, look at how nicely I've done the cabin right here. We're able to fit a lot of people into this airplane. We've made a serious wide body plane, which is still very much modern and very, very much fuel efficient. This would be an amazing airplane. But you know, there's of course way more to building an airplane than just making the fuselage longer and putting more seats in, right? In order to extend this, we need a whole new landing gear design, we need a whole new wing design, and we need a new engine. Because this is like a lot bigger and a lot heavier. I mean, just right now we're trying to fly off and we're already a lot heavier, of course, than the 787. We are not able to load in a lot because this landing gear just can't keep us up. Just because also the wings can't keep this up. And also what I'm gonna have to try is not do a tail strike, which has already failed. That has failed massively already. But you know what? It doesn't even look that bad. It doesn't look that odd. Maybe if we change delivery around a little bit. Iberia doesn't really look a lot better. Iberia. That'll be a different airline, right? And Jesus, we're quite a long airplane now. In fact, we are 260 feet long. Not bad. We are actually the longest plane in the world. Which is 250 feet is the 747. So we're we're the longest plane in the world. Doesn't look that odd though, does it? Hey, British Airways almost looks normal though. Talking about normal stuff, I want to do a normal landing. After all, look, we're able to climb. Yeah, flying wise is absolutely fine. I want to see if we can make a landing that doesn't involve a tail strike. Now, I know a good way of preventing a tail strike of this landing that we're about to do. And we're gonna go deep into the trick box of Airbus. See, they have pretty much the same problem of making an airplane that's kind of too long. The Airbus A320. That one had a tail strike. And it even says in the cockpit, tail strike caution, and a bad resolution for some reason. Airbus A321 pilots are instructed to land the airplane on not a maximum flap angle. So we're not gonna put the flaps out to the max because it flattens out the angle of which you'll be landing at. Genius. So we're gonna put the flaps to a maximum of 15 degrees. Otherwise, we will hit the tail. So that means we have to go a little bit faster, obviously, than on a normal landing. At least at 140 knots, 150 knots. Surprisingly very low number, actually. We might want to put the landing gear down, actually, though. There we go.
Thanks, Ray.
Oh, sink rate. I can do that as well. Great, so we're gonna do the work of genius and land the 787 fastly. Okay, here's the runway. We're still giving in power. I want the airplane to not... Hey, that wasn't a tail strike at least. That's the way to prevent it. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we went a little too slow, and so the airplane dropped down like a rock. But it worked! Great! Now, since we haven't, on this upgrade, strengthened the fuselage by making it thicker in any way, we have definitely destroyed this airplane during this landing. Because of the higher distances of the landing gear, of course. Mainly those landing gears pretty much on another continent than the main landing gear. We definitely for sure have higher bending moment. There's one more issue now that we've got tail strike sorted out, and that's the actual crosswind performance. How much crosswind can this thing do? We've got a huge amount of attackable area by wind, of course, and not a lot of wing to counteract that. So let's find this out. Okay, Oreo Rian! Yes! What a nice snack, ladies and gentlemen. Now, same procedure as always. We're gonna be landing with a flaps of maximum 20, or like 18 degrees is good. But what I'm gonna do is put on straight crosswind. But, you know, realistic crosswind, but high. Something like maybe 30 knots. Yeah, most airliners can definitely handle that. The 787-10 though, no. The 787-11 though, as well, no. Maybe a little bit of wind shear, something like that. Let's change the weather now. And that has this effect. Jesus Christ. Okay, so we're landing at a pretty normal crosswind, I'm gonna be honest. The plane is definitely sideways though. That's to be expected, of course. Oh, wow. Oh, we need more speed, and we're gonna crash. We're actually gonna die now. We're actually gonna die. Whoops. Yeah, I flew too slowly, and the airplane doesn't like that because our flaps can't be put up very low. And one big problem is that I don't have a lot of... Whoa, this is actually a big problem now. We don't have a lot of pitch authority. I'm just realizing that. So I'm pulling up all the way, but our nose... Yeah, this is the yoke all the way back. Come on, I want... Don't stall. I'm unable to pull up. That's very interesting. Look at this. The control surface is all the way, but because of the crosswind, I guess the airplane just points down and dies. Very interesting. All right, so we would definitely need to increase the wingspans overall of all these wings of this aircraft, because look, it makes barely any difference. We just have a plane that's way too long. And this is why we also died on this recent landing with a now... Oh my god. With a now increased crosswind, there is just no way. This airplane is unflyable in these conditions. I really wouldn't have thought that. So we're gonna die. The crosswind limit of this airplane is like 5 knots or so. I could try taking off now. See what that looks like. But even here, staying in center line because of the crosswind, it's just almost impossible because it'll just be blown away. This wing is way too tiny. Look. Uh-oh. All right, that's an engine strike for a change. Sorry about that. That is like unflyable. That is actually insane. I wouldn't have thought this would make such a big difference. Look, this airplane is non-flyable. Yes, we have made the 787-10 a lot longer without ever changing anything else, but it's very interesting to see how it would struggle in the basics of winds. Am I right, Korea? Yes. Now, granted, Boeing could make these changes. We could make a bigger wing. We could make bigger engines. We could make bigger tail section, so everything bigger, so we could actually fly this. But then this plane would be a 777. So what's the point? So no, we're gonna Orion. Nope, we're gonna stick. This looks now ridiculous in comparison. We're gonna stick with the 787, 8, 9, 10 now. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow as always. Good night. The special thanks goes out to my members, my supporters. Guns Killer, R27, James Duram, That Dude, Anime Gods of Gaming, Derek, Insider Plane, Nishijutsu Fanner, Professional Jamal, Ryland Williams, and New the York. You've got beautiful names.